Hi darlings, my name is Daniella and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a Ginny and Georgia season 2 review, so let's get right into it. Okay, first of all, I want to say Happy New Year. Welcome back to all of my returning subscribers and hello to all the new people here. I'm so excited to be doing this review. It is my first video of 2023. This year is going to be super exciting, especially for this channel. So please don't forget to hit the subscribe button because there's a lot coming towards you. Today we were talking about Ginny and Georgia season 2. It's actually crazy. I was getting ready for this video and I realized that Ginny and Georgia season 1 came out during my sophomore year of high school and now I am a senior. So it's been 2 years since the first season came out and there has been a lot that happened this season. Also, I want to give a trigger warning for self-harm and just violence in general. Also, this season was really heavy. I feel like it was a completely different vibe from season 1, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the video. But if any of those things will trigger you, I want to let you know now. I will put timestamps of when triggering things will be in the video so you can skip them as well if need be. I'm gonna start off with the characters and I'm gonna start with Meng without Ginny because I'm gonna talk about Ginny later on in the video. But I'm gonna start off with Nora. I really like Nora's character. Like, I don't know, I just think she's really sweet. I just like the way that she interacts with the group. I will say that her and Jordan's relationship is really just sad to watch. Like, she literally said that she thinks he takes her for granted, and I just wish she would leave the relationship or just ask for more from Jordan because she definitely deserves it. He's just not treating her right. Also, I don't know if she ever found the ring that Jordan put in the milkshake. Like, we don't know about that, and I would love to be updated about that. But I do really like Nora, and I hope that she gets to play a little bit of a bigger role next season. I feel like we know more about Abby and Maxine, but we don't really know much about Nora, so I hope to be able to learn more about her. Okay, next is Abby. First of all, Abby's character has always been really interesting to me, and season 1 was really sad and hard for Abby, so I was really hoping that we would have some like fun times for her. And I feel like this season was a lot of growth for Abby, and it was really sad to see Abby at the end of the season going back into her old unhealthy ways. So I'm hoping that she gets to like get through that and discuss it in the next season. Also, her relationship with Press was really interesting because I feel like it was just kind of weird. Okay, next up is Mac. I hate to say this, but I've never really liked Max. Not that like I dislike her, but I just thought that she was like a bit annoying and like really self-centered. But I feel like this season she like grew on me more. I love seeing her as a sister to Marcus. I also liked her relationship with Silver. I thought that was really cute. I'm really happy that she has like come to a point where she's over Sophie because that was getting really annoying. Like, it was getting tired. Now her and Silver are becoming a thing and I'm very excited and I hope I see more of that in season 3. Now we're gonna get into like mostly the adults and stuff. So the next person I'm gonna talk about is Joe. First thing I will say is that I watched season 1 of Ginny and Georgia and I was not a big fan of it. I still really am not a big fan of Ginny and Georgia. But I had decided that if there was a season 2 of Ginny and Georgia, I would be watching it solely for Joe because I love Joe. I think he's amazing. I think his character is great. I think the actor that plays him is very good looking. I just really love Joe. I love the role that he plays into the town. And so this season I was really excited to see where they were going to take Joe. His storyline did not go the way I thought it was. Him pining for Georgia was really like sweet and endearing, but also it was just like, you need to get over her. It's been years. I did love seeing his flashbacks. I like to like learn more about him and I thought it was really interesting to see that he was like low-key kind of a bad person to that bully. Like that, yes, that dude bullied him, but was it right for him to blame what he did on him? No, I don't think so. Him and Cynthia having an affair while her husband was sick was not something I was prepared for. I mean, like, okay, let's be serious. The whole entire season, I could see them building up Joe and Cynthia's relationship, the way she was always there drinking a glass of wine. They were drinking together. Like, I knew something was gonna happen. For that exactly to happen, it really was not what I expected. In the middle of his story as well, when they had that scene and it was in Blue Farm and then they just started and I was like, whoa, can y'all not go to a room in the back? Can y'all not find somewhere more private? Like, the way that she just walked in, someone could walk in too. Like, that was crazy to me. But I love Joe, and if there is a season 3, I will once again be watching for Joe. Next we're going to talk about Cynthia. Obviously I already talked about Cynthia and Joe's relationship, but I will say like Cynthia this season was so wishy-washy. She was so two-faced. One minute she was friends with Georgia, the next minute she wasn't, and I just didn't know what to believe. Also, her dealing with the loss of her husband was really like sad and hard to watch. Feeling like she couldn't do enough for Zach was really sad, and I don't know, I have mixed feelings about Cynthia. Like, I want to like Cynthia because she genuinely is going through something and she seems like a kind person. She's been so mean to Georgia. She does have reason to dislike Georgia. Georgia did embezzle money from the mayor, so like it's fine. Everyone's gotten over it, so I feel like Cynthia should get over it too, and I think Cynthia has. I like Cynthia, and I would just really love to learn more about Cynthia and like her backstory in season 3. I think she has the ability to be an amazing character if we just get to see more of her. Now I'm about to like get into all of Georgia's men. Gil, I hate him. That was so scary, like when he came back from prison, because obviously we didn't know what was happening. That Christmas episode, I was like, okay, but then he just kept coming back and kept coming back and kept coming back, and I was like, no. It was a bit too much. It was a bit scary. Learning about like that relationship was really sad. I feel bad for Austin for what he had to do to protect Georgia. That's gonna scar Austin for the rest of his life. There's actually no way he's gonna be okay, because he saw his dad being violent with his mother and then shot his dad. He needs to go to therapy too. Next up is Paul. Paul, I don't even know how to feel about Paul. Like, I like Paul. I think he is really a great man for Georgia, and he really does love Georgia. But also, I feel like Paul and Georgia, as much as they may love each other, they just don't really fit. And so it's just kind of like hard to watch him try. And you kind of know he's never gonna succeed. That sounds so mean, but it's kind of the truth of the matter. Him trying to be a stepdad to Ginny and Austin is kind of nice though. Like, I do love that he's like doing it and going into the role, but it's just like, meh. Paul fits more in the mayor category. Like, I like seeing what he's doing for the town, but I don't really love Paul and Georgia's relationship. The fact that they are now married and also boss and like worker just doesn't really make sense. I do appreciate the fact that when Paul heard everything about Georgia, he didn't run, like he stayed. I found that really kind and endearing, and really showed how much he loved her. But I feel like it's gonna come to a point where he can't take it anymore, especially because she didn't tell him about like Kenny and her first husband. At some point it's still gonna come up, and I feel like he's still gonna end up running away. Next up is my favorite of Georgia's men, and that is Zion. Season 1, I was not really feeling Zion. He was out there living his own life when Ginny and Georgia were struggling, you know? So like, I don't know how I felt about that. This season, Zion is, you know, doing what he needs to do. He's getting his life together. He's staying. He's being a father. He's being a father. I love Zion. I really do. And I'm happy for him with Simone as well. Like, yes, black love. I love to see it. I love to see it. Zion's character this season, they did a great rebrand for him. They showed us that he really meant it when he said that he wanted to be there. And him being the person that got Ginny the help that she needed was so beautiful to see. I love that he was like, okay, we're gonna take you to therapy and we're gonna get you what you need, and really trying to be there for her. I really love being able to see Ginny and Zion's relationship grow, and him being there and helping her kind of navigate her black identity, because she can't really do it with Georgia. I'm gonna talk about Austin. I feel like I already did a little bit with Gil. I do love the fact that him and Zach are close friends now. I think that is something he really needed. But also, Austin saw Georgia pull the plug on Tom in the next season being issues. So we will see what happens. I just love Austin, and I am hoping for the best for him. Now we're gonna talk about Ginny and Georgia. I'm gonna start off with Georgia, and then I will get into Ginny. I never like really loved Georgia. I was just kind of indifferent about her. But I feel like this season showed us a lot of the flaws. Obviously, we're looking at Georgia from like Ginny's perspective. Completely understand why Ginny felt like she just like couldn't deal with it anymore. Also, I feel like Georgia was being a terrible mom at the beginning of the season. Like, your daughter and son ran away from you and you're mad. Let's be adults. One thing about Georgia, her fit's always gonna look good. She is always going to look good, and I love that about her. I genuinely love that about Georgia. I just wish that Georgia would kind of figure out how she can fit into Wellsbury without being the cookie cutter mom. The episode that Georgia and Ginny went to therapy together was so good. I was so happy when that happened, because it really was beautiful to see the way that they both were like, okay, we need to fix this relationship. They're still not doing great. Ginny still had that poem about Georgia. I'm happy that Georgia is really trying to be a better mother, because that is really important. she needs to be able to ask for help, and that's her biggest issue. Like, I get that majority of the time she can't really ask for help because she be doing stuff that's illegal. You got Paul now, and he is your literal partner in crime. She takes on so much on her own, and it's not doing her very well. Last but certainly not least is Ginny. And let me be so honest with y'all, I did not like Ginny. I did not like Ginny going into season 2. I did not like Ginny through season 1. I was not a Ginny fan. She was just being so annoying. But this season, I really related to Ginny this season. Like, I genuinely feel like this season was so beautiful to see Ginny go through self-discovery and asking for help from Zion. The way that Ginny went through it this season, I loved seeing it. And that sounds really mean, but I really did enjoy seeing her just learn more about herself and figure out her way and her relationship with her mom. I'm a Ginny fan now. I'm not the biggest Ginny fan, but I'm a Ginny fan now. Her relationship with Marcus, which I also want to talk about Marcus because Marcus had an episode that was all about depression and how he felt, and that episode was genuinely like so beautiful to me. It was a really great depiction of what it feels like to be in a really bad depressive episode. And it really showed and humanized Marcus, because I feel like the whole season we just see him like acting the way he is and just being like, oh, he's just an angsty teen. But it's like, no, he's generally going through something. And although it led to their breakup, I think it was the best decision. Ginny and Marcus's relationship, I loved it, but I knew it was gonna end badly. Like, you could see it coming. Also, the fact that she told Marcus about her mom poisoning Kenny was kind of crazy to me. I was not expecting her to do that. And also the fact that she didn't notice what was going on with Marcus was interesting to me, because I felt like this whole season Ginny felt like no one has seen her, no one, you know, sees what she goes through, and she was learning about herself and discovering herself, and then she couldn't do the same for Marcus. You know, maybe that's because of what she was going through and what she was dealing with. It was just really interesting to me, and I felt like Ginny should have cut Marcus a little bit of slack because she didn't even notice that he was going through what he was going through. So that's how I'm feeling about all the characters, and I'm very excited to see what is coming for season 3. But right now I'm going to talk about the plot and just certain plot points that I really love. First thing I'm going to say is that this season's vibe was very different from season 1. I was expecting fun, cringe, like Oppression Olympics type of vibe, and it was not that. Like, from the beginning, it was not that, and I was like, whoa. So it took me a little bit to get into the season because I just was like, this is not the Ginny and Georgia that I remember. This is weird. I don't like it. But once I realized what they were trying to do and what they were trying to show, I loved this season. So I'm gonna do a trigger warning right now because I'm going to be talking about some triggering things. So just skip to this timestamp if you don't want to hear about Ginny and everything that she deals with this season. I really loved the way that they handled Ginny's self-harm and her parents' reactions to it and Zion's reaction to it in her therapy. My only issue was Georgia finding out and then forcing her to show her. That was intense, unnecessary, and just wrong. But otherwise, I felt like it was handled well. I just really appreciated being able to see her like discover herself, you know, get over her self-harm and deal with her self-harm and go to therapy, because I feel like therapy, as you saw, was a taboo subject for Georgia, and it is sometimes a taboo subject in the Black community. And so Zion being like, we need to get you help, and going in and being a parent and trying his best to help her was really appreciative, because I feel like a lot of the times when teenagers say things about how they're feeling, their parents don't take it as seriously. And so it was really nice to see parents take their kids' mental health struggles and want to help and do something as soon as possible. So I really appreciated that. It was really hard to see her when she was self-harming and stuff, but it was really nice to see her grow and learn other coping mechanisms. Now we're gonna talk about Marcus's depression episode, because it was really beautiful to see not only the way that they showed depression and how it can feel for people, but also the way that his family was supportive of him. Like Maxine always making sure that he was okay, even though he was in an episode, like she was still there to make sure he was okay, to be an amazing sister to him, and his parents checking up on him, making sure he's okay, asking him if he needs to go back to therapy, asking him if he needs to be back on meds. Although he was really going through it and, you know, he was not treating them the greatest, they were still there for him because they understood what he was going through. And so I really appreciated seeing that. And I love seeing the fact that they were taking it seriously, letting him like feel all the emotions, but also trying to help him, because you don't get to see that very often. You don't really get to see that often for teenagers as well. So I really love that. I love the deaf representation. I didn't do a season 1 review, so I didn't get to talk about that. That's one of my favorite parts of the show is the deaf representation and the fact that the whole Baker family signs ASL. That's something that you don't see very often in film and television. So integrating deaf representation within a hearing show is really amazing, and I'm so happy that we get to see that in the show. I took ASL for 2 years and I really loved it. I'm gonna go through what I want for season 3 really quickly. First thing, I already said this, but I want Austin, Ginny, and Georgia happy. I want Georgia out of there as soon as possible because she was helping Cynthia. I'm sorry, that was not a murder. She was just helping pull the plug because Cynthia couldn't do it. I want Ginny and Marcus not back together. I want them to be friends and I want them to be able to just be there for each other. But until Marcus is completely okay and until Ginny is completely okay, the two of them do not need to be in a relationship. I need Cynthia and Georgia to be best friends. Next, I need more Zion on Simone. Zion is a good-looking man. Simone is a beautiful black woman. I need more of it. Also, I want Joe more, and I want Joe finding love and happiness, a beautiful woman or man in his future that makes him happy. And lastly, I want Padma and Hunter together. Don't ask questions, just give it to me. It makes sense. They're in the band together. It would be cute. It would be cute. Padma has healed from Marcus. Hunter has healed from Ginny. He loves Ginny still, but I think he's over her, and I think it would be a really cute relationship. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please comment down below what you thought about this season, anything you liked, anything you didn't like, and also let me know if you guys have any TV shows or movies or stuff you guys want me to talk about on my channel. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.